Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A gas leak shuts down traffic on a Loves Park street. Firefighters say an improvement project may have accidentally done more harm than good.
Chicago Bears make a quarterback move, and fans seem thoroughly unimpressed.
Bartenders are aware that they are responsible for the people they are serving and how much they're consuming.
St. Patrick's Day celebrators will hit the bars tomorrow, but law enforcement have a word of advice before pressing your luck on the roads. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. A busy Loves Park road is closed off in one area due to a gas leak.
The fire chief tells us North 2nd Street and Grand Avenue will be closed off in all directions tonight. The city was reportedly working on a water main when a gas line was hit. Crews are monitoring gas levels in the area and say the threat to the public is low. One person complained of odor at a nearby school, which firefighters inspected and found no issue. Repairs will take quite some time. Drivers are asked to avoid the area if possible.
This year has highlighted the need for a working laptop and solid internet connection.
But for those without the proper tools for the digital age, finding a job can be difficult, especially during the pandemic. Ari Bruckman joins us with more on how one local employment agency is helping job seekers get connected. Ari?
Eric and Mimi, thousands of people lost their jobs during the pandemic, and many are still trying to find employment. But a local employment agency tells me there's yet another obstacle to overcome as they're looking.
We're seeing more of career seekers needing to do their job interviews over Zoom or to access those job applications via, the internet.
COVID-19 has caused some businesses to shift to virtual days rather than having people in the office. While this may keep employees safe from getting sick, virtual employment or even a virtual interview require access to a computer and internet. Two luxuries Jessica Story with Workforce Connection says some people can't afford.
It's very challenging for someone to find a job right now. The days of going into somewhere in person and filling out a job application are gone.
Rockford native Kevin Neal is working with Workforce Connection to find employment opportunities. He understands these struggles.
It's pretty much difficult unless you have to, ask someone, but if you can't, it's very difficult.
The Rockford Public Library is trying to help those who may have difficulties with internet and computers. Right now, anyone with a library card can access the system's internet from the parking lot during business hours. And they're working on a solution to provide Chromebooks for customers 18 and older to check out.
We're hoping to roll them out later this spring. We're really excited to be able to offer Rockford Public Library cardholders an opportunity to access the internet with laptops.
Talking with the library, officials tell me safety measures will be in place to protect the computers. They will be equipped with software to shut down if misused. Also, you'll have to sign a release form to take it out of the building. Eric?
Thanks, Ari. Rockford police take several weapons off the streets within 20 minutes. A traffic stop on Elm Street just before 11 last night yielded 2 handguns, a couple of extended magazines, and about 100 rounds of ammunition. 5 minutes later, police say they also recovered a handgun in a separate incident at Stockyard Rockburger Bar outside of the bar. Scope officers handled a third call and recovered a stolen handgun around 11:15 on Harrison Avenue. These 3 suspects were taken into custody. Police have not said if the incidents are connected. An Arkansas man is critically hurt after slick roads send his semi off the road in Ogle County. This happened yesterday around 1:30 during the winter storm. Police say 61-year-old Jeffrey Hendricks was driving a tractor trailer on the I-88 westbound ramp toward I-39 when he lost control. The truck flipped on its side. Hendricks was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. No other vehicles were involved.
The Illinois State Board of Education hopes new grants will inspire more teachers to lay down roots here. $1.5 million is awarded to 38 schools across the state. $249,000 of that will go to Freeport High School's Career and Technical Educational Consortium. It's part of the Education Career Pathways grant. Students in the program will receive hands-on training and support. Funding comes from Governor Pritzker's 2020 budget, which included the first increase in tax dollars for the program in 5 years. A state grant will also benefit Roscoe Township. This award is part of a nearly $25 million park and recreational facility project across Illinois. $704,000 will go to Roscoe for the development of a new park near the Robert J. Cross House. The facility will offer a pavilion and stage, displays of indoor antique farm equipment, outdoor vendor area, farmers market area, walking paths, and community gardens. A Roscoe spokesperson tells us the funds will speed up the project. Hear more about the 17-acre project coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 10.
A Rockford House of Worship celebrates the completion of a renovation project with a special guest. Members of the Sikh Temple of Rockford have been working on its worship hall for 5 years. The Honorable Bishop of Sikh Faith came all the way from India for today's adoration ceremony. He opened the Holy Book for the first time in the new worship hall. The temple president says the project will allow their message to reach more people.
We hope we will serve more better than before for the people of the city of Rockford, nation, country, community without any discrimination.
The worship hall seats 500 people. Congregators are expected to reach capacity when COVID mitigations allow it.
Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and while last weekend's typical celebration looked different, one thing usually stays the same.
People will celebrate dressed in green at local bars. Michelle Ravi joins us with more on keeping the Irish festivity safe. Michelle?
Many people may have plans to have a pint or two on St. Patrick's Day, but it's always important to do so safely. One bar owner I spoke with says they're going the extra mile to ensure their customers have a designated driver.
St. Patrick's Day, that one extra shot, just one more before you go. You know, that's kind of where it gets a little tricky, and you really have to pay attention to what people are doing and where they're going.
Bill Green owns Wagner House in Freeport. Wednesday, they're celebrating not only St. Patrick's Day, but their 5th anniversary. Green says no matter the occasion, his customers' safety is important.
When we see a large group, make sure that, they have free soda, all night, and really ask people if they have rides and if they need a ride, and just kind of be aware of who's doing what, at the bar.
The Stevenson County Sheriff's Office will have extra patrols out for the holiday. Chief Deputy Stephen Stovall says make sure you have a plan before you start drinking.
Slow it down, have a plan, have somebody in your cell phone that you can call if that's possible. Give your keys to somebody else, or find a responsible friend that's willing to party a little bit less than the rest of you so that they can get you home.
Green says that they won't hesitate to cut someone off.
There's nobody's life that we would put ahead of a sale. I have a daughter, and she's on the road, and that innocent person that gets hit by that drunk driver that you serve, that extra $6 or $10 or whatever it was, it just absolutely is not worth the risk.
The Stevenson County Sheriff's Office tells me those extra patrols won't be just looking out for impaired driving, but distracted drivers, people speeding, and people not wearing seatbelts. Mimi.
All right, thanks, Michelle. Lip balm beats out a technological wonder taking shape in Rockford. Ingersoll's giant Magellan telescope was up against Blistex in the Illinois Manufacturers Association's Maker's Madness competition. The annual IMA contest allows the public to pick the coolest product made in the state. GMT is a few years away from being finished, but when it is, it will be taller than the space shuttle and 10 times more powerful than the Hubble telescope. Ingersoll has groundbreaking at the end of the month for a 40,000 square foot addition as part of the project.
We don't care what the voters say. That telescope is still coolest to us.
When it's done, it'll win, I betcha.
We hope so.
We will vote for it.
We're gonna, yeah, we'll have our own campaign for it.
There you go.
Concerns over crossing the border.
After the break, Democrats and Republicans weigh in on the situation on the southern border as a new milestone is reached.
Plus, think twice before posting your plans for the latest stimulus check. Coming up tonight at 6, experts warn revealing too much information could get you scammed.
It was another day stuck in the 30s, and we have more rain on the way. Find out if the warm and sunny weather will be back in time for the weekend. Coming up in the forecast later on.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Sports Director Scott Leber, and Meteorologist Kevin Doom.
Biden administration says the United States is expected to reach the highest number of people apprehended at the U.S.-Mexico border in 2 decades.
Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson shows us how the administration plans to address this as he keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
Tennessee Republican Senator Bill Hagerty calls the thousands of migrants crossing the southern U.S. border a crisis.
This is not humane. This is dangerous for the youth that are coming across this border that are making very long journeys.
Too many innocent people suffer at the border. Too many Americans are concerned about undocumented workers coming into the country.
Ohio Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown says the solution is for Congress to pass new laws overhauling the immigration system.
We need both parties to come to the table and work on real immigration reform that protects our borders and respects human rights.
But Hagerty says there are steps that need to be taken now.
What we have to do first and foremost is secure our border and stop this crisis in Bedlam. Then we can look at legislation to fix the problem on a longer-term basis.
Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy agrees the focus should be on enforcing the current laws.
The Biden administration doesn't want to enforce America's immigration laws, and it's choosing not to stop the flow of illegal immigration.
To help with the influx of unaccompanied minors, the Department of Homeland Security says the U.S. is building new facilities to increase its capacity. In Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Now your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Dew.
It's a pretty gloomy Tuesday out there today with chilly temperatures and overcast skies all day long. Now at least the rain and snow held off. We do see a little bit of a system just out to our west approaching the state line of a few light showers. This should for the most part leave us alone. Maybe just see a few very light, very brief showers in our westernmost counties before this rain actually starts to fizzle out here over the next several hours. But we are eyeing a system that's currently spinning in the Four Corners region that's going to bring us some widespread rainfall starting as early as tomorrow evening. But before we get into that, let's recap yesterday's snowfall. Now, most of the area saw around 2 to 3 inches of snow here in Rockford, 2 inches at the airport, 2.2 at the NIU weather station, just over 3 in Mount Carroll, and 5 inches actually reported out in Galena. Now, I know it seemed that this snow was very out of place for many, but it was really nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, what was very uncommon about yesterday's snowfall is that it was the first snowfall of the month. The first 2 weeks of March actually saw no snow whatsoever, not even a trace. Now, of about 130 years of weather records, that's only happened 11 times. This is the 11th time, so it's not a very common occurrence. And even though we saw 2 inches of snowfall here in Rockford, we're still short of the normal snowfall for the month-to-date total, and we still got a long ways to go before reaching the just under 5 inches that is normal through the entire month of March. Now, these cloudy skies are going to stick with us here through the rest of the evening. Through the overnight, we could see a little bit of clearing in that cloud cover, but skies are going to remain mostly cloudy through the day tomorrow. Most of the day tomorrow will be dry. This system is going to be approaching the state line in the early afternoon. We should remain dry through the afternoon, but there is a chance we could see a few isolated showers through the early part of the afternoon into the early evening, but it's going to be the mid to late evening when we really start to see this rain start to fill in here. Rain could actually be fairly heavy in spots at times. This rain is going to continue on through the overnight hours and then slowly fizzle out to our south through the morning on Thursday. Could see maybe a little bit of wintry mix or a few very light, very brief flurries before the rain actually leaves us. We're not expecting any accumulation out of this system, however. And then we're just expecting a mostly cloudy Thursday. Skies will begin to clear out, however, in the latter part of Thursday evening. Now, here's a live look over the Poplar Grove Airport using a Mercy Isle SkyTrack, where we're seeing really nothing more than just some cloudy skies overhead for the time being. Temperatures stuck in the 30s yet again today. 38 currently in Rockford, 34 up in Janesville, 35 in Freeport, 35 as well down in Rochelle. But that spring-like weather will be back before long because our jet stream is going to have a change in pattern over the next several days. So right now our jet stream sits down to our south, some colder air being pulled down from the north into the state line. As we head on into the latter part of Wednesday, this sort of dip in the jet stream that you see down here, down in the Arklatex region, that's actually the disturbance that's going to bring us that storm system, bringing us some widespread rainfall Wednesday into Thursday. But then just in time for the weekend, our jet stream is going to lift to the north, going to start pulling a lot of warm air up from the south into the state line and really warm things up just in time for the weekend. But now tonight, temperature is going to be dropping into the upper 20s and lower 30s, mostly cloudy skies overhead, leading to a mostly cloudy Wednesday. Temperatures will be back in the 40s, however, for tomorrow. Then rain on Thursday, accompanied by 40s, more 40s expected for the last day of the work week on Friday. We'll be back in the 50s to kick off the weekend on Saturday. 60s possible for Sunday. Lots of sunshine for the weekend as well.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
Turns out thoughts of Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson quarterbacking the Bears were merely a dream. Instead, the Bears have proven to be the Bears when it comes to the quarterback position. Ryan Pace's grand scheme to save his job is to have Andy Dalton and Nick Foles battle it out for the starting quarterback position. According to multiple reports, the Bears have a deal with Dalton, 1 year, $10 million. He can make more if he reaches incentives. Dalton was with the Cowboys last season. He started 11 games, threw 14 touchdown passes with 8 interceptions. Paltry numbers, but it was handicapped by a below-average offensive line. Dalton's resume and list of achievements are better than Mitch Trubisky's. He has appeared in the playoffs in 4 different seasons with the Bengals, but he lost all 4 of those games. He's made 3 Pro Bowls, but then again, Mitch Trubisky made a Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl appearances are misleading because so many quarterbacks go as alternates when better quarterbacks back out. Dalton has worked with Bears offensive coordinator Bill Lazor when they were both in Cincinnati. But the bottom line is Andy Dalton is nothing more than a stopgap. He won't excite any Bears fans, and what this means is the Bears still have the worst starting quarterback in their division. I don't know how Ryan Pace is going to be able to sleep at night. And you could always become a Seahawks fan, Bears fans, and then Russell Wilson would be your quarterback. Well, the Rockford Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Rockford Park District were thrilled last month to land the women's NIT basketball tournament. They have to be twice as thrilled now, knowing that 2 local girls will be playing in it. Michaela Schmelzer is the starting point guard for UW Milwaukee. She's a senior and the team leader in assistant steals. She graduated from Harlem. Peyton Kennedy plays for St. Louis. She's a graduate of Boylan. Kennedy's a true freshman, so she doesn't see a lot of game action. She averages 7 minutes a game. Their presence, though, will certainly draw more interest locally to the event, which begins downtown on Friday. Sadly, only a limited amount of spectators will be allowed to attend the games. Otherwise, attendance would have gone up significantly with Schmelzer and Kennedy in the mix. No matter what, the tournament just became far more interesting. That's my take. We'll be right back.
Let's have a look at our first one, Interactive Radar, sponsored by Rockford Auto Glass and more. No rain anywhere near us despite the cloudy skies. We do have a little bit of rain just out to our west. Could possibly see a few light showers as a result of that in our westernmost counties over the next couple of hours. Otherwise, we're going to remain dry through the night, just more cloudy skies. Temperatures back in the 40s tomorrow for your St. Patrick's Day with a few evening showers. These showers going to last through the night and through Thursday morning. Maybe seeing a little bit of wintry mix mixed in there in the morning hours as well. No snow accumulation this time around, back in the 40s once again. In fact, staying in the 40s through the end of the work week. 50s likely returning just in time for the weekend on Saturday, with 60s possible on Sunday.
That looks much better. Thanks, Kevin.
And thank you for spending a little bit of your time with us. Stay safe.